Hear footsteps on the other side of the door. Take Mara's body in my arms. Airborne 6 Security Department. Door slams open and a dozen of flashlights blind me. I manage to reopen my eyes and I can see someone familiar. Celia, the android you're holding is the property of Vilta Labs. Drop the android to the ground and get on your knees and your hands behind your head. Paralyzed. Remember what Mara asked me to do, so I close my eyes, take a deep breath and calm down. Open them again, Kyle was in front of me. So in the end I was right. I knew Mara was with me. Of course I knew. I'm getting tired of that show we played every day. Maybe Della enjoyed it, but not me. It was only a matter of time before this happened. Copy. Okay, so I'm guessing... Well, I thought, yes, the basic conditions of life to be required to violate our own identity. Yeah, I thought, Kyle and Dara were working with Sal, but I guess they were working with, Vilta? So they were working separate, okay. Mara asked me not to resist, so I'll wait for now. Put my hands on the back of my head. Vilta's mercenaries handcuff me and take me outside. Look back to try and see Mara one last time, but it's too late. They're taking her away. Shove me inside a dark truck, and I can only see some shapes and lights through cracks in the door. They're like vents in a beast cage. Check the walls of the truck. Doors do feel a little weak for an armored truck. I hit the hinges with my prosthetics. I could probably escape, but that'd be too noisy. Finally, I decided to sit back and do nothing. Got to wait for my moment to escape and look for Mara. Think this is all over, you're wrong. Been in worse situations. Canned voice comes from the front of the truck. Calm down, we're almost there. Van stops a few minutes later. I can't help but fall to the ground when it slams on the brakes. Doors open. Recognize this place. Parking lot of Vilta headquarters. Two soldiers grab my arms and take me to the elevator without saying a word. Taken to the top floor to the director's office. Celia, long time no see, my daughter. Oh, wait, what? Don't call me that. It's disgusting. But you are. It's important that you don't forget that. The day we gave birth to you in that test tube, you have been my daughter. That means I'm responsible for your actions. Look away. His very presence has been enough to fill me with disgust. I suffered enough of my life at the hands of this monster. You know me well. You know how much I appreciate my creations, that there is nothing that matters to me more than making this world a better place. You knew Mara was also one of my daughters. A different daughter to you, but no less important. So wait, are we technically sisters? Because that is, then, our relationship is kind of, complicated. Quite the opposite, in fact. And yet you kept her. We're able to understand firsthand the power of the new generation of androids world. Cut the crap. If I'm still here, I'm not necessarily one of your re-education centers. Because you want something from me. You've always been one of my favorites. Very curious and suspicious. Not that I want anything from you. Collaborated with Mara on her plan. Now owe me something in return. What plan? Don't know what you're talking about. Doesn't matter. Ignorance doesn't grant impunity. You have two options. You can listen to what I have to ask of you and help me, or you can refuse and go straight to the re-education centers. Decide to remain silent. If I start talking, I could feed his ego, and I really don't plan on staying here to listen to his monologue. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the options I'm giving you. I want your help. I stress the word want, because I don't need it. But I don't want you to spend the rest of your life in jail. And the only way the government of Empire will forgive you if you do some kind of service for them. That's why you're going to do the following. You'll wear one of Vilta's uniforms and go to the factories. Become a war zone. Rebels are trying to steal prototype models of our new androids. Have them surrounded and all possible exits uncontrolled. But it would be a pity if they did something inappropriate and some of the prototypes were damaged. It would be a waste of a lot of our time. But you know Mara. You know that the hacker who manipulates the rebels. Maybe you can convince him. Then you do need me. You're wrong. Regardless of whether the prototypes of these androids are destroyed or not, that is something that will only cause a slight delay in my plans. I am a benevolent with my daughters, so I will allow you to help me to avoid this inconvenience. Or you can choose the other option and go straight to one of our rehabilitation facilities. It is most certainly still better than an Imperial cell, and the decision is yours. You mean your human experimentation labs? Unsubstantiated stories. You've been in them. You know how they are. Then that's why I say it. Tell me, then, what is your decision? I really thought for one second that you accept any of your proposals, and you clearly don't know me at all. One team raises his voice, and this is clearly bothering him. How impertinent. But you don't wish to learn, Celia. So be it. Take her away. Guards push me towards one of the lower rooms of the laboratories through a twisting maze of corridors, throwing me in one violently. In the dark again. It looks like they're following through with their threats. Oddly though, I feel calm. In fact, I lie down on the bed to rest. Realize there's a terminal in the room, which surprises me. Where's the terminal when log on? Doesn't have access to the network, and there's very few programs installed. I don't think it was a good idea for them to leave a terminal here, because if I can connect it to the network, yes, it'll be very useful. Someone opens the door. Get out of the chair as fast as I can, and Darla? I mean, of course Darla would be here, because, she was with Kyle, so... Celia, I came as soon as I heard they took you here. What do you want? Where are you holding Mara? I don't know anything about Mara. All this is crazy. I can't believe they're trying to lock you up here. Didn't you come for me? Darla enters the room and closes the door quickly. The camera in that corner. Doesn't matter if you close the door or not. Move towards the door, stand in front of Darla and whisper to her. You're behind me now, so the camera can't see your lips. What were you doing here? I was sent here shortly after you were captured. I'm supposed to keep an eye on you in particular. I think you'll try to escape. Well, yeah, obviously. Shh, lower your voice. What do you want from me? Nothing. I don't know how lucky you are that I was assigned to you. What do you mean by that? I doubt you came to free me. I just wanted to show you something. Look. The other takes a picture out of her pocket. It's all quite wrinkled. That's me in the corner. You won't remember me. You're always too busy thinking about how to get away from this place. But I remember you as soon as I saw you. Oh, wait, she's from the same batch as me? Wait, so we're sisters! Fuck yeah! Okay, well that kind of explains her behavior and stuff, why she's kind of like me, but... Huh. Okay, that's interesting. So you're one of Velda's daughters. That's why you were sent to the center. And it's probably why she's working with Velta and everything. It's hard to recognize you with that hair change. Yes, this is where you were being locked up now. Governments turned a blind eye to this building, so there's no risk of what happened that time repeating itself. I think it's a way. I've also been locked up by being sent here to keep an eye on you. Don't you hate them after what they did to us? You have to understand me. I didn't have many options. None of us did, but it doesn't matter anymore. Tala, I don't hold a grudge against you for spying on me all this time, but I advise you not to get in my way. You're trying to escape, aren't you? I didn't say that. I'll help you. What? I'll help you. Don't want to keep doing this. Working for Velda is not something I do with my pleasure. But you'll have to promise me that you'll take me with you wherever you go, at least until I'm safe. Look, I appreciate your proposal, but... Celia, I know the facilities are the same, but many years have passed. Doesn't matter if you escape. We're in the middle of a police-infected district. You won't get very far before you're caught. You need my help. I won't suspect anything while we're working together. Okay, what do you propose? Donna squeezes her fist with an emotion. She's happy with my answer. I told you, but in a moment, we can't let them suspect anything. For now, try not to mess up. Okay. Good luck. Donna creeps out the door and I'm alone again. Although not for long. It's lunchtime and a guard comes to pick me up. Accompanies me to a large dining room, which is deserted except for one girl who is sitting alone at the table. I suppose this place has been practically empty since they stopped using it for their experiments. Take a tray and carry my food to sit next to the girl. Oh, you're not looking too good there. God, what the fuck have they been doing to you? I definitely don't want to stay trapped in this place if this is what they're going to be doing. She's covered in wounds and bruises, and they look recent. Food seems passable, and it's not like I'm used to eating better anyway. Girl doesn't look up from her tray. She eats like she's never eaten before. Hello? Ah, hello. I'm Abria. Nice to meet you, I guess. I am... Celia. She knows me. Well, I guess she remembers me, just like Dala. You talked with Dala, didn't you? Passes me a piece of paper while she talks to me and continues to read without looking up. I take it and try to open it. Not now, please. In your room. I nod, as I imagine I'm not the only one who wants to get out of here. She's been trying to escape for a long time. In any case, I have to be careful. Velda has eyes everywhere. Finish my meal, return the tray, and wait until the guards give us permission to head in to head in the inner courtyards. Oh, that's pretty. Here you can see the sky, but we're too deep inside for it to be the real thing. Must be a projection. Bria approaches me. Truth is, I know Della told us we shouldn't talk, but I've been here alone for quite some time. Don't think anything will happen if we talk about some things that aren't important. In fact, I think it'd be more suspicious if we didn't do it. You're right. I'm sorry if I seem a bit on edge to you. I'm a little nervous about this whole escape thing. That's one of the things we probably shouldn't talk about. Bria covers her mouth. I'm sorry. Well, you're Celia, and you're quite well known amongst Velta's daughters. I still remember you from when I was little. Yes, I seem to have a certain reputation as a rebel. To be honest, we all admired you. You had so much strength, so how did you end up here? It's a long story, but let's just say I'm not the one not the one I used to be, but I'm trying to redeem myself. That's good. You said earlier that you've been here alone for quite a while? Well, I used to be away for the rebel army, but I was captured about a month ago. The rebels? Why? As you can see, I don't have much love for Velda. I'm not strong enough to face them alone. Doesn't mean you had to get involved in the war. But the rebels don't just want to go to war. I was working with a research team, in charge of developing augmentations for refugees in rebel territory. Refugees? That's right. Rebels have some underground cities under their protection. Wow, that information must be very valuable. Shit. Yeah, the army tried to torture it out of me. That's why I have all these marks. But I haven't told them a single thing. I guess I developed some resilience to this kind of stuff when I was little, you know. Then they sent me here. Guess it's Phil's term trying to make me talk. What are those people who live under the protection of the rebel hiding from? From the Empire, of course. Many of them are scavengers wandering the desert after the Empire shattered their homes in an insatiable expansion. I thought that was a thing of the past. Not at all. The Empire simply improved at covering up such news. You, though, you haven't worked with the rebels. How did you end up here, then? Technically, I'm here for the same reason, but didn't do it consciously. I simply worked for Hoplon, the district security force. You must be one of the few girls that were still working for the Empire after we escaped. With the exception of Darla, of course. Well, I never started working for the Empire. When we were released, I started studying, and soon after that I joined the Empire's police force. A few years later, I was running my own elite team. Now it's all a thing of the past. But why? After everything they did to us? See, the Empire is neither Velta nor the Emperor, nor the government. There are many people living within these walls, and I'm afraid many of them live as trapped as we do. All the more reason to try and overthrow things, don't you think? Not in the way the rebels plan to. I think it's the only one. And it shouldn't be done. I guess that makes us enemies. Doesn't matter why we're locked up in here. I guess not. So, you never left the Empire? You've never seen what lies beyond the desert? Afraid not, but I know there's other colonies. That's right. I spent some time living in a few of them, and things are very different. Better? I wouldn't know if they were better, but you can definitely breathe a freer air. I seem to have seen a lot of the world. I've seen quite a bit. Traveled from city to city for a long time. You wouldn't believe what's out there. There's so many things that aren't taught in the Empire. For example, well, there's a colony where androids are as common as here, but they're completely different. Each android is produced in a very unique way. They have a lot of personality. I wouldn't say they're like humans, but they're a sight to be seen. Sounds like a place I'd like to live. It's a very strange place that's the center of attention for many scientists on the planet. It's a wasteland full of ruins of old buildings. A big city surrounded by walls in the middle. They believe to be the ruins of the first human colony on the planet, but no one can venture close enough to it, because as you do, strange things start to happen. Strange things? I'm not much of a believer in the paranormal. Neither am I, but it must be true when so many countries take it seriously. And after all of those amazing places, why did you come back? You'd have never been caught if you just ran away. I had to do it, because of what Velta did to me. I'll never forget. Don't you hate them? Of course I do, but that doesn't mean I plan to spend my whole life seeking revenge. I have better things to do than waste my time with that. I guess you're right. Hey, you two. Time to go back to your rooms. You have plenty of time to talk in the future. Yeah, hopefully they didn't overhear that. Pretty nice split out when they accompany us to each of our rooms. Sit on the bed just underneath the camera and take the note out of my pocket. Be careful to cover it with my body. When I open it, I notice a strange acidic smell. Most of the notes crossed out. Another phrase written next to it. See you in room 07 at midnight. Don't trust her. Oh, what do they mean by that? I thought these were instructions, but They're crossed out. Must have been Bria. Doesn't trust Dala. Don't know why, but it's never a bad idea to be careful with Volta's people, whether they're pretending to be on my side or not. Full name, put it back in my pocket. I can't help but feel uncomfortable with the camera there. Wish there was a way to make the entire population of the Empire aware of the existence of these places. I like that, even though they might not do anything even if they knew the truth. People have become too distracted, too placided. I can do nothing without being watched, so I lie down in bed and close my eyes. Hear the ventilation system, and the echo of some distant noises. I wonder how many things cook within these walls. So surprised me that I maintain these facilities. It must lock people up here more often than it seems. Mine races back to what Mara said to me. New generation of androids with singularity and machines to control them. Sounds unreal, but I doubt it was a lie. At any rate, if Rhea gave me anything to go by, I'd better try to get out of here on my own. It's time to get down to work. First I need to get rid of that camera. Let's see, the camera's probably connected to the building's network. If I can access it, I can control it without a problem, but something tells me it's not going to be that easy. Pretty sure I won't be able to access it via the wireless network. No, I'd rather not risk getting detected that way. Once it goes down, that's certainly going to gain their attention, so I need to be fast. I got to the bathroom where there seems to be no camera, though you never know. Turn on the lights and look at the bulb. An LED, I'm lucky. I screw the light and connect it to the cable of my spirit, enough to illuminate it, and I turn the light off and put it in my pocket before I leave the bathroom. Turn the light off and using the switch next to the door, camera goes off a slight purple tone, as I imagined. Uses infrared. Bulb should be enough to cover me completely. I get under the security camera and turn the LED light back on. I manage to tie it to the camera using my shoelace from my boots. This should block the image of the room and give me a few minutes. Go to the computer and check that its connection to the building's network is blocked. However, the tower has a cable to the local network, you idiots. I connect this cable to my spirit and after breaking some barriers, voila! I gained access to the building's network. It's easy for me to overcome the rest of the firewalls. Quickly create a wireless connection between the building's network and my spirit, then disconnect everything. Head back to the bathroom and fix the light bulb in place. Finally turn the light off the light and go back to bed. Now I just have to wait a little bit. Wouldn't like to raise too many suspicions. Shortly afterwards, the guards open the door and takes a look at the room. I stay in bed and do nothing until he leaves. Now that I got access to the building, I just have to find the right time and place to get out, and maybe I should take a Bria with me. Soon it'll be midnight, so I decide to head out and look for the room Dala told me about. I open the door and wander through the corridors. Not a single guard. How strange. Go to the dining room. It's also empty and dark. I leave and go to the inner courtyard. Bria's there. Oh, Celia. Bria, what are you doing here? Got nothing better to do, and at this time there's hardly any guards on this floor. Security is surprisingly not strict. How come you haven't tried to escape before? I'd have to overcome the security of all other floors right up to the surface. Of course. Do you know how deep we are? I think we're at least 20 floors deep. Understand. Hey, about Dallas note. We're not to talk about it. Oh, that's okay. There's absolute silence for a few seconds. Oh, is this what you usually do to keep yourself entertained? Yes, to be honest. I usually walk around a place and think about stuff. For example, this rebel stuff. I'm sure you're not interested in it. Quite the opposite. To be honest, anything you want to tell me about that's fine with me. I don't know how I should take that. But I was still inside the real rebel headquarters. I remember how everything started to change. It was the arrival of a girl, an Imperial. I don't remember her name, but she looked like she was from the East, and she was always dressed in red. I don't think. It can't be. Sound familiar? Was her name Yoko by any chance? Oh no, I don't think so. But I wouldn't be surprised if she lied about her name, so... remember I was scared. Yoko working hand in hand with the rebels? Yeah, nothing good could come of that. They were part of a band, the Red Moon. Applying my head on my forehead. Shit. Yeah, that's Yoko's band. What exactly were they doing there? Don't really know, to be honest. Saw them quite often. I think they helped the rebels with some business inside the walls. I guess I'd ask Yoko for an explanation, just like with so many other things. By the way, Bria, do you know where room 07 is? You got to follow the corridor to the right, but be careful. Sure. Also, I'd like to talk to you about something. How about you come to my room tomorrow night? Okay, why not? Well, you'll see tomorrow. Wait for there before I head down the hall. Follow the lights on the doors until we reach 07. Open the door and there's Darla waiting for me. Some sort of laboratory. Much more worn than the rest of the facilities. Maybe this room is still used frequently. That definitely doesn't give me a good feeling. Celia, I'm glad you came. What do you want, Darla? Well, first of all, I guess you want some answers. After all, we couldn't talk last time. Thought you were here just to keep an eye on me. And so I was, but I've been assigned a new task, and I don't think you'll like it. Surprise me. Brought you here because they want me to continue my investigations of you. I thought we were going to escape. That's right, but if I don't send us some kind of information, I'm afraid they'll replace me. Darla, I'm not going to force you, but I think it's the only option. Don't have to start now. I'll tell you everything I know, and you can make your own decision tomorrow. Okay, but everything you know about what? About Mara, of course. But she knows. Isn't she just a mere pawn? All ears, but first, what is this place? It's creeping me out. It's my lab. Your lab? That's right. I've worked on genetic engineering research and proto-cells projects since I joined Velta. That's why they chose me to do your follow-up this last month. Did the research on Velta's daughters never end? Yes, it did, but I continued to work with my own blood. That is... I don't know what to think. That what you want from me? Yes, they come to the conclusion that you're the strongest of all the girls who were born here. They want me to investigate why. Had they asked you to do it, or was it your decision? Of course they asked me to. Celia, I wasn't lying when I told you I wanted to get out of here. Please, trust me. Darn, you're asking me to let Velda study my body again, just like it did so many years ago. I understand how difficult it's got to be for you, but I don't think we got any other option. Do you have any other way to escape? Yes, I do. I'm not going to tell her, sorry. No, I don't have another one. I'll think about it. I'm not going to promise anything. Now, tell me, what do you know about Mara? You see, Velta continued to investigate Singularity even after the disaster of a few years ago. Mara's the product of that. That's what I imagined. Oh, so you know something about Mara? Of course. Do you think I spend so much time with her without even trying to find out where she came from? Yes, you're right. But I bet you don't know this. Mara doesn't have a real singularity. In the end, the project never came to create an android, a constant expansion, but a stable and changing one such as a human being. I know I spent enough time with Mara to know that she feels the same as anyone else. Feelings are very believable, right? Delta managed to create a very convincing android. Most important thing is that it's a bioroid. Very self-sufficient, so wouldn't be strange to see an android of this generation doing things characteristic of a machine with a singularity, but they don't really pose more danger to humanity than any other human being. I guess it's the ultimate human copying machine. Seems like Darla doesn't know anything I don't. Just afraid she's just a little pawn in Volta's plan. What's the importance of Mara having singularity or not? It became the same as without it. It seemed like Volta's spent years of research to get back to where we were at the beginning. Well, that's not technically true. Certain dormant singularity exists within Mara that's completely enclosed and controlled. Most likely impossible to get a really dangerous android out of this generation. But Volta came to the conclusion that singularity is of no use to humans. That's why they changed their approach when they created Mara. Again, I ask you, does it really matter? At least it's interesting, don't you think? Seems that Volta now put their interest back into older projects. What do you mean? Well, I've been asked to investigate you. Won't be surprised if they want to experiment with genetic engineering again. Combine their new expertise with bioroids to create some new kind of cyborg. Maybe a new generation of genetically modified humans. My chill runs down my back. I'm not gonna let that happen. Don't worry, as I told you, I don't want to work with them anymore. But you still want to study me? Just so they don't suspect anything. I told you this. Dude, I'm not leaving this place knowing that information about me or the other girls is still being stored. Can't allow it. And how are we gonna stop it? Maybe in the future we can do something, but right now we got no other alternative. What about the other girl? Are they experimenting with her too? Celia, I don't experiment on anyone. I only work with blood. I take it from her and force her into anything just like you. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're not going to get a drop of my blood as long as I'm alive. Please, Celia. Can't allow ourselves to be caught, not now. So long, Darla. I leave the room and walk through the dark corridors to my room. All that conversation has done is make me feel sick. Who knows if she was actually telling the truth about Mara? At this point, I don't care. All I want to do is get out of here and find her. I feel tired, so I lie down in bed and try to get some sleep. Hard to know what time it is without a clock. Oh, wake up, call. Wake up to the sound of one of the guards banging on the door. Breakfast. Run my face and go to the bathroom to wash. Then I head to the corridor and follow the guard to the dining room. I find it curious how this place is so huge, and yet there's only over 2 trays. Both are left on the side, which means that Bria isn't here yet. Take my tray and sit down. To be honest, I got some appetite today, so I start eating. Bria arrives shortly after and sits in front of me. Good morning, Celia. Good morning. How was your meeting last night? I didn't know you worked with Dalla. For Rebel, you're growing up pretty quickly. There wasn't much else I could do. Not like my blood's gonna be any use to her anyway. If you say so. I know for sure. I've already been thoroughly investigating the Rebels' laboratories. Genetic modification may have a bright future, but I'm not part of it. Rebels really are trying to make progress in all fields. You'd be surprised at just how effective they can be at that. They're very intelligent people amongst them. I'd even say that they're long since surpassed the Empire. You can't be serious. How else could such a small force stand up to the largest military force on the planet? I guess you're not wrong. The rebels are very capable. In fact, the Empire still exists. It's because the rebels don't want to kill it. However, I fear that might be changing recently. What do you mean? Well, there's a reason I'm here. Abandoned the rebels and came to the district on my own. So I got caught. Since the girl in red and that strange hacker arrived at the rebel headquarters, rebellion leaders seem to have been an influence. They changed their entire strategy and began shaping the population for a completely warlike society. I just don't want to participate in that at all. So, do they tend to attack the Empire once and for all? That's right, and I fear the worst. How powerful can they be? Didn't think they could even get through the walls. Well, they'll accomplish more than that. They'll probably make some sort of surprise attack, both from the inside and outside. Likely they won't wipe out the Empire, but I believe a terrible, bloodthirsty war is looming. And there's no way to avoid it? I suppose there is, but I'm unaware of it. You said you knew the leader of those red bandits, didn't you? Perhaps you can convince her to stop helping the rebels. Yeah, I highly doubt I'm gonna convince Yoko of doing anything. Do you know exactly what they're after? You know they are rebel contacts inside the walls, so they could do endless things, each one more harmful than the last. Yoko. She a good friend of yours? She used to be the best. Maybe she'll come for you. She hasn't done anything for me in a while. Maybe she hasn't come for you because she doesn't know you've been caught. You could contact her in any way. Rhea puts her hand on her chin. What are you thinking of? No place that's got a connection to the outside network. I think it's the only place on the whole floor, apart from the security room. Dallas Lab. You can contact your friend from there and tell her where we are. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think we got any other option. I'm afraid she's right. Even if I had control of the building's network, I couldn't get through the security of so many floors by myself. Alright, I'll try, but you got to come and see me tonight in my room. Of course. Would you like to go to the inner courtyard for a while? I've got nothing better to do. Rhea and I get up and take our trays to the counter, then walk around the place until we reach the inner courtyard. Oh, having a rather fun conversation. It's actually quite nice company. Never thought I'd make a friend in a place like this, but guess lately nothing's the way it should be. You're right. I think that many of the advances don't make sense also. To tell you the truth, even the two of us seem totally useless. Wow, you should have some more self-esteem. No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, Dallas now researching our DNA to start experiments with genetic modification again, but for what? I know if I'm following you. Raised my eyebrows and smiled at her. But the truth is that she's caught my interest. I mean, all these experiments are only trying to achieve one thing. That's to lengthen the life expectancy of humans. Some of them have already succeeded with us, but I don't understand why people fear death so much. Nothing to fear in life, because it's well known that there's no suffering in death. You have to be an idiot to worry about something that only hurts you if you worry about it. On top of that, it's inevitable. Death really means nothing to us. No more than a sun always inspired ending. But people flee death as if it were the cause of all pain. Yet other times they seek it to end their suffering. Well, that's very philosophical. I'm not afraid. Oh, didn't mean to skip past that. I'm afraid I'm going to disagree. It's true that we live longer by being modified, but that's not entirely correct. Not only will we live together, but we'll age slower, and I've always been happy about it. So I've been almost 30 years old, as young as I was 10 years ago. And I'm a little afraid to think that one day my body will no longer be able to keep up. But you'll always have your mind. That's not true. Age also curses the mind. Can't blame people for looking for eternal youth. But you're opposed to these experiments, aren't you? Of course, because the end doesn't justify the means. Builder had done something differently, but to lock up all these girls, because they were mere laboratory rats, that's too cruel. On that I agree. People are willing to do anything without looking at the consequences of their actions. Those will investigate a different way of prolonging life by copying the brain and transferring the data to an artificial one. That's almost worse. Of course, it's much more terrifying. Why? Well, you never know if your consciousness was really transferred to that new brain. From what I understand, that's impossible. When you lose your natural brain, you die. Anything that has achieved this create an identical copy of you. It continues to ruin the planet. A doppelganger. Now that you put it that way, it's quite unpleasant. But I suppose that, beyond the fear it can cause, it's a viable alternative to preserve a person's knowledge. I said before, I wonder what's the motive behind this natural purpose that humans have to continue living. Well, I think it's easy to answer. It's just nature. All animals have always had survival as their primary instinct. That's what I imagined, but I think it's become more complex than us. Now that many humans have crossed language barriers and borders thanks to technology and modern societies, I think we're beginning to move forward as more than just individuals. Union of all human beings as a race would give rise to a new being, kind of behind mind. Just all the cells in your body give rise to something superior. However, the actual human being is incapable of merging, so the combination of our minds gives rise to constant extensions of our best attributes. Such machines, for example, as you said, it's not the human being who has the instinct to develop, but nature itself. Really like to philosophize about this stuff, don't you? Remind me of myself a few years ago. You don't do it anymore? Sometimes, but nowadays I like to keep my mind clearer. When you get saturated with thoughts like that, you often lock yourself in them, and you can't take any action. Especially because many of the basic philosophical questions have no answer and never will. Try to find a logical reason to live, afraid you won't have much luck. Find it more comforting to focus on the present and the most immediate reality, because then I don't always have to end up suffering the consequences. That makes sense, although it doesn't happen to me. Guess it depends on each person. Of course, we don't have much in common, but at the same time I feel like we're a pretty good match. To tell you the truth, I didn't expect to find someone like you in a place like this either. We're gonna keep talking for the rest of the day until the inner courtyard lights go out. You guys have had enough of our chatter. Do you want to come with me to my room now? I don't think that's a good idea. Better split up. Come over there in a while when the guards think we're asleep. Right. Part ways with Abria and walk to my room. As soon as I enter, I can't help but look at the camera. I underneath and close my eyes to use my spirits. Record an activated loop of me just laying there. No one's watching me now. I let myself to explore the building's network a little. I have access to all the doors and cameras, but not much more. Don't think this will take me very far. Someone knocks on the door. Must be Bria. Open the door and let her through. Bria stares at the camera. Shit. I completely forgot about that thing. Don't worry, I hacked it. Are you kidding? No, I managed to get access to remote controls for the whole building. It's just the cameras and doors, but it's something. Amazing. How did you do it? It was part of my job before they put me here. Member of the new brigades of Hoplensec. Department of Civil Security, Cybercrime Robotic Division, this district. That sounds pretty incredible. Why didn't you tell me? Guess the conversation just didn't come up. Things like that are the kind you don't need a reason to brag about. Anyway, at first I wanted to tell you to run away with me using this, but I think your plan to warn Yoko is a better idea. Of course, using this we can open the lab doors and use Dallas terminal. Let's go. Now? Sure, there's no time to waste. Just hope the dollar is not in there. Bria and I leave the room, knock down both sides of the hall, follow her through the facility until we reach room 07. No light comes from inside the lab, so we assume it's empty. Bria looks at me and points at my wrist. Here's my spirit to unlock the door. Hear the sound of the lock, and carefully, Bria opens the door. We're already inside. It'd be better if you don't turn on the light. If we do, the guards could see us. You're right. There's Dallas terminal. I'll watch the door. Approach the terminal and turn it on. There's a password, so I connect to it by the cable. Once again, it's easy for me to get past the security. Bria was right. Terminal has access to the network. Connect on and create a new contact using Yoko's number. Yoko, Celia. The water was catching me and they got me in one of the lowest floor in the district headquarters. Don't know how to get out of here, and I could use your help. Fortunately, Yoko is not connected. I had no choice but to delete the chat so that Darla doesn't see it. Gonna take a look at the rest of the files. Alright, hurry up. Oh, I get to have a look at all of these, hell yeah. Oh, there's a lot here. Oh, I was hoping to look at the saved and drafts and whatnot, but... Yeah, entry 54. The A-series crops seem to be the most promising, with strains 4, 7, and 8 being an absolute success. We'll soon move on to testing with the guinea pigs. That's exciting. Number 68. 2 of the guinea pigs die, but the guinea pig of strain A increased its muscle mass. Performance and even completely eliminated 2 tumors that were in its body. Unbelievable. Entry 92. Moved on to the last phase and injected strain 8 into my body. Already I've begun to notice an increase in my energy. I feel alive. I haven't been so excited in years. The experiment was a total failure. A few hours after injecting strain 8 into myself, I began to suffer fever, intense nausea, vomiting, and an absolute loss of strength. I only had better blood to experiment with. Not these stupid samples of mine. I compare my results with those of the subjects of old experiments. I feel useless. Wish Celia would help me with this. Don't like that you're testing the blood on yourself. Okay, well, that seems to be it. Okay, well, let's exit out. Yep. Rosalind's terminal to see what I can find about her research. Doesn't seem to be much. She has a diary in which she recorded all her experiments she's done with her own blood. She hasn't come up with anything conclusive. Protocells aren't very effective. Must be why she doesn't like to fight. I can feel a hint of sadness in these notes, as if Darla wanted to be someone she isn't, someone more special. Hear noise coming from the laboratory bathroom door. It opens and there's light into the whole room. All kind of steam comes out, accompanying Darla with her hair still sopping wet. Shit. Goddamn it, we should have checked all the rooms before coming in. Well, we're fucked. Girls, what are you doing? Rhea jumps on her and puts her hand to her mouth. Don't think about screaming. Darla nods and Bria takes her hand off her mouth. Are you trying to escape? I thought, why didn't you say anything to me? She's working with Velta. You think I'm going to say anything about this to anyone? But if you do that, I'll have to stay here. You can't. I have to wait for the right opportunity. I have to warn. Rhea hits Darla in the face, making her bleed. Told you, no word about this to anyone. Darla. Go to Darla and bend down. Try to take you with us, but please, you have to keep it secret. Darla just covers her nose with a hand, then a few tears and sobs. You really shouldn't have done that. Ah, shit. This is the big problem, Celia. I can't trust her. What do you pretend? Can't do anything? I think her message is clear. Better get out of here. Celia, we can't leave her here. Can't drag her around the facility either. I have to trust her now. Let's go. Grab Maria by the arm and pull her towards the door. Walk to her at a brisk pace through the corridors. She'll have done something. Done what? Kill her? Of course not, but now she'll give us away. We have no choice but to wait. Message has been sent. Alright, we better go back to our rooms. Split from Maria and go to my room. Lie down on the bed and deactivate the loop. Hope Yoko got the message, or better yet, I hope Darla comes to his senses. Those notes I found on the terminal don't give me a very good feeling. Can't sleep and I spend the night thrashing around in bed, thinking about what happened. Things are not going well for us at all. Okay. I don't know what I would do to convince Darla. Now it may be too late to even think about it. Bria's turned out to be a bit more violent than I expected. Suppose that spending so many years among rebels have affected her. Hadn't hit Darla, I think I'd have been able to convince her. Yeah, I don't think so, but... Oh. Hear footsteps on the other side of the door. Many of them. Someone knocks on the door and opens so harshly they almost knock it down. For fuck's sake. Hi, Celia. I can't seem to get away from you for one moment. You again? Looks like you've been getting pretty close to escaping, so we're taking you and Abria to a more secure place. Trusted that you'd behave, so we allowed you to stay here with so many comforts, but you didn't appreciate it. For fuck's sake, Dahlia! We are trying our best here. God, we can't trust anybody here. Cut the crack, Kyle. You're enjoying this. Just a little. Coffer. You guys get behind me and handcuff my wrists. Your confinement cell won't be much smaller than this, but don't worry. Besides, Darla will be happy to work with you, right? See Darla hiding behind Kyle, staring at the floor in shame. Darla, you shouldn't have. I'm sorry, Celia. I couldn't allow it. Yeah, bullshit, you couldn't allow it. The explosion makes the ground rumble. Dust falls on the ceiling and the fluorescent tubes flicker. Let's go out and emergency ones come on. Everything turns red. I hope to God that is fucking Yoko. Red nightfall. We can only see a short distance ahead, but we can see plenty there that needs to be done. Alan turning. Gotta be Yoko. What would cause so much noise? Shit, what now? One of the guys tries to grasp me by the neck. I hit him with my knee and I get him off me. Put her to sleep and leave her on the bed. Come back for her. Make sure you lock the door. Oh, for fuck's sake. I puncture my neck and I turn around to see one of the guards holding a needle. Vision becomes blurred before I collapse. My head. It feels like it's going to explode. Hearing noise that I can't identify. But I get up. My senses become clearer. The shots. Red lights are still active. Hear a loud bang that repeats itself every few seconds, little by little. Approaches until it reaches the room next door. I see a shadow on the door. Someone knocks down the door down completely, and when dust settles, I see Yoko's henchman on the other side. Yoko, she's here. Oh, hi there. Nice of you to drop by. And just in time, too. Come up to me and help me get out of bed. Remove the handcuffs in just a few seconds and accompany me outside. What is all this? Guard corpses are everywhere. This is a slaughter. What the fuck is this? Yoko? I got your message, and I've used everything in my power to get out of here. It ain't the time for your bitching. Yoko grabs my arm and tries to pull me, but I resist. Wait, Bria and Dala here. We had to take them with us. Where are they? I don't know. We'll have to look for them. Can't go door to door. Think I know the corridor where they keep Bria. Follow me. Yoko and her henchmen follow me through the facility's corridor. Try to remember where Bria went last time we saw each other. I direct them there. Reach a dead end. Must be here. Do you know which door it is? No. Yoko orders her henchmen to break down the doors, and they start doing it one by one. Meanwhile, I try to talk to Yoko to spoil the noise. Okay, what happened to Mara? Really ain't the moment to yap about it. Dala was with Kyle, a tall blonde guy. Did you see her? I think they're at the entrance, but I don't know if they'll still be alive. Fuck. Don't you have a more discreet way in? What do you think? No. Someone here. Take Bria out of her room. She's somehow asleep too. Is that her? Yes, let's go. Walk to the carrying Bria. Any more of Yoko's henchmen are waiting for us. Yoko hugs me and attaches a metal hook to her waist. Begin to climb up the cable in the elevator shaft. The rest of us not too far behind. Finally, we make our way to the exit, where Vanna waits. Yoko pushes me inside and places a Bria next to me. Oh, at least we got Bria out. They she'll be happy with that. Yoko knocks on the van plate and the vehicle begins to move. I push the slits that connect the driver's seat. Where are we going? The district's industrial zone. I wonder if Yoko plans to get us out of here. Sit back down and take a look at Bria. She hasn't heard anything, and I'd almost say she's sleeping peacefully. Give her a push to try and wake her up, but to no avail. Little by little, the noise of the sea fades, and I hear the characteristic metallic echo of the industrial zone. Van stops, and the doors open. One of Yoko's girls helps me down. Has your friend woken up yet? No, they must have drugged her as well. Oh, Celia, I've got bad news. Trains have left without you. We're too late. How? Who left without me? Mara and the rest of the androids. They destroyed one of the walls in order to escape using the trains, but my scouts ain't seen a trace of them. I fear they're gone now. Shooting stopped and now Vilda's in control of the entire area. No way we're getting close. Mara, she's gone without me. Guess it's better than both of us being trapped here. Sorry, Celia, but I don't think they'll come back for you. How do you know? Sol told me about some kind of programming that had been erased once they left the district. Don't have orders to look for you anymore. That reminds me, we've got a lot of questions to answer for. Been working with the rebels? So? What do you mean, so? What are you planning, Yoko? Do you want to end the Empire once and for all? Are you really that selfish? You've always been no on me. I think it's a little late to lecture me now. Yoko, you cannot. Don't you tell me what I can and can't do. If you're going to try and stop me, go ahead and try. I rescued you, and now you're free to do whatever you want. But I've got my own plans in the future. Do you plan to carry them out no matter what? Even if it means causing the death of millions of people? It's one thing to lie to me, and it's quite another to cause a genocide. Yes. Silent builds in the air. Even Yoko's henchmen remain silent. I almost feel a physical barrier develop between her and me. She has become a cold and almost despicable person. Very good then. I won't try to stop you now, but I won't forget this, I assure you. Yoko turns and leaves, continuing to give orders to her men. Someone approaches from behind and touches me on the shoulder. Oh, you're awake. Celia, where are we? Bria, glad you're alright. Yoka came for us just in time. And then in the industrial zone, but I don't think we should stay here for long. And where will we go? I'm going to find Mara. And where would that be? To the desert, I suppose. In that case, I can be your guide. A few days later. Come on, Celia. Next caravan leaves in a few minutes. I'm coming. Finally, I can say goodbye to this place. It has been my home for so long, but also my worst nightmare. Hope I can come back here someday. But for now, the outside world awaits me. An enormous world to which I have never had access now opens up before me. Hope you're out there, Mara. Unstoppable. Migrate or degenerate. Philip K. Dick. Yeah, this guy's definitely showing up a lot. Today we bring you an important announcement from Velta Labs. Just a few hours ago, Velta announced a new generation of androids. An announcement which has shocked us and many of our viewers at home. How is it possible? The Emperor banned any kind of advances within this field. Velta has reached an agreement with the Emperor and the government so they can release one last generation of androids. Generation is possible to hack, or isn't possible to hack, can only be controlled by us. This will be the last push that our magnificent nation needs to win the war against the rebels. That's amazing. If I wasn't reading it, what if I'm reading this correct? Velta has announced 3 android series. One of them is a combat-focused model, but what about the other 2? Need more strength to win wars, and of course, the Empire can't overlook other problems we've had before the war against the rebels even started. I could talk about the 3 new series, but I think it'd be better to see a thorough explanation through Velta's new ad, don't you think? Of course, today's the first time on television we'll be able to see the first announcement of Velta Labs' new Android series. Might have heard about a new Android generation coming. Generation impossible to hack, but at Velta we always want to be one step ahead. A new generation is not only immune to hackers, but is also the most smart, fierce, and sentient generation so far. Proud to present our new 3 models. Our war model Eris 1.0 is here to protect our homes, street, and especially our borders from any rebel threats. That looks suspiciously like me. Next we have our terraforming model Rhea 1.0. It's here to reforest the desert planet to be full of plants and make our founding fathers' wishes come true. All of this is possible thanks to our new Black Sea crop growth model. It means they are able to grow even under the harshest conditions. Yeah, all these androids look very familiar. Finally, but not least, our service model Eros 1.0. It's here to make you trust all the androids out there who are protecting and reinforcing our empire. One of our new models to help our citizens with any problems they might have. That includes even the smaller ones. Model includes every kind of knowledge needed, even of the psychological kind, to help you live a fuller, happier life. Unlike those old soulless androids, you will love it. Oh, and that's the end. Man, what a fucking ending. Oh, and apparently that was the bad ending from that achievement that just popped up. Okay, so that was Synergia, but I'm not going to quite end it there, because I'm going to go back through and get the good ending, because I'm very invested in this story. I really like it. Ooh. Complete both endings to unlock the epilogue. Ooh. Okay, well, I'm definitely doing that now then, because I want to see what this epilogue is. Yeah, because I'm definitely invested in this story, and I'm fucking loving it, and I absolutely want to get the good ending, because I love my Mara and all the other characters. Oh, fuck Kyle and Dara, though.